torture euros, and I'm listening to Esskimo and the Get Rich Rapping podcast. Tune in. You heard?
Yo, what up? It's your boy Guns.
This is your boy True Words.
We good entertainment, and right now, you listen to Get Rich Rapping podcast. We good.
What's poppin'? This is Chris Yup, and we listening to Esskimo and the Get Rich Rapping podcast, homeboy. Pull your socks up.
It's that time again. Esskimo, GetRichRapping.com. This is podcast number 8. We're going to be talking about customer experience. I do apologise for missing last week's podcast. Just working on a few things. It was my birthday the weekend just gone, so yeah, I was caught up doing some stuff. I had a few ideas that I've been putting into practice or whatever, but enough about me. Let's talk about you, your music career, and how you are going to build an experience for your customer. So first of all, let's talk about what an experience is. Now, let's talk about how most artists are, and you may even be like this, so don't feel any offence or anything like that. It's better to know that you're not doing things right than think you are. So look, if you're just making tracks and putting them out, I say this a lot, but you're not doing nothing. You are doing literally not doing anything. You're just making music and putting it out. You want to create an experience for your customer. So if you're just putting out a track, by the end of that track, whether they think it's good or not, they've got no options after that. It's done. Whereas somebody who's implementing new things to expand their brand and just to keep people occupied during that experience, and different perks and different features that are just going to make you stand out from everybody else. I mean, if you're not adding those things to it, you're not retaining those people. They've got no reason to check on what you're doing unless you've got a new track out. And it's counterproductive to bring out a new track every day or every week, because then you oversaturate yourself. So you're going to be going a long time without getting any kind of engagement or people fed into you, because all you do is bring out music. Whereas you can keep people occupied, keep your brand in front of people, keep what you do in front of people through different outlets and different ventures that you might find yourself getting into. Now let's talk about why takeout food costs a certain price, but there's certain restaurants out there that you're going to spend $1,000 on for a meal for a few of you to go to, because they're that high end type of thing. It's the same reason why some people can sell courses and ebooks online for 10,000, 15,000. People can sell their marketing and branding services for like 100,000 to certain companies, because they have a higher ticket because of the bigger experience. Please excuse the cuckoo clock in the background. But anyway, well, that's if you can even hear it. But if you go to one of these restaurants, you know straight away that you're somewhere that is higher class. You know you're going to get an experience, because you get there, introduce yourself at the desk and tell them how many seats you're having or whatever, or you've pre-booked and you say your name, and they're all smart. They're wearing a waistcoat. They're fully kitted out, suited and booted from head to toe. They take you to your seat, they pull the seat out for you, they take your jacket, they hang it up for you. They've got music in the background, but not like radio music. They've got specific playlists to make you feel comfortable, to really help you, just help the mood out. And it's light, easy listening music where you can still have conversation over things. Some places might even have a live band or a live orchestra, or just these little tiny things that you can offer that is a big step up from McDonald's. So that is why they charge the ticket. Even the food is obviously going to be of great quality when you go to these places, but it's nothing that you can't necessarily make yourself at home if you don't just go on Google and look for the recipe and make it yourself, you know what I mean? But you can provide that own experience for yourself. And that's why they can charge these prices, because they're not just selling you quality food for you to sit down and eat. They're giving you the whole nine, the whole experience. You feel a certain way. I'm not sure if you ever have, but I've eaten in restaurants where it's like £100, which is like $160 for one meal. And I've sat in there and I felt like somebody. It was an experience, and I felt like I would love to do this every day. I would love to have that type of lifestyle where I could feel like this every day. And you need to be creating that experience for your customers. It doesn't have to be a luxury experience. It's just an experience, a memorable experience. Like, for example, if you're just making music, like I say, that's all you're giving them. How are you going to stay relevant in between music, in between mixtapes, in between albums, in between music videos? Well, you can start blogging, you can start vlogging, you can put out certain updates that cater to your audience, because hopefully by now, if you've been listening to these podcasts and implementing what I say, you know, you need to be communicating with your audience and sharing your message and really having a message in the first place to make people resonate with what you do. So you have to find ways to keep your customers and your fans entertained throughout, no matter what your current music situation is. And this is when they're going to do things like buy your merchandise and buy your album, because they're not just buying music, they're thanking you for the experience that you've brought to their life. And that's why someone like Little B, who purposely makes trash music, that's why people follow him around the internet and call him a god, because he's created an experience. Everybody that's in with Little B, they're part of a game where they say he's the best rapper ever, and just like, even though they know he's not, and they know he's making his music trash on purpose, it's like an inside joke, and it's an experience, and it's a community, and there's a congregation. It's a whole experience. So hopefully you understand just from listening to that, just making music and scratching your head, why people aren't really locked in. They might listen, you might get views, whatever, they don't count, but you haven't got them locked in. I noticed that most people who've got a lot of views, you go look at their subscriber count and, you know, they've got 50 subscribers. They might have a video with 10,000 views, but they might only have 50 subscribers. And not to play that down if you've only got 50 subscribers, because like I say, you need to know the truth to move forward with this, and it's better to know that you're doing it wrong than think you are doing it right. It's like the experience I try to create, well, the experience I create with my brand is more for the customers than the people who just, you know, like the statuses or leave a comment here or there, wherever. It's more for the people who invest, where I make them feel like they can hit me up and I'll be there to help them with every problem, because I will. I put myself out there, like, whatever product you buy from me, if you're, you know, really putting into what I do and you're really contributing and investing in the products and the services or whatever, you know, yes, you're paying for the service at the time because that's what you wanted, but really the real value kicks in when you can count me as a member of your team, because you can hit me up to troubleshoot. You can hit me up for ideas. You can hit me up and say, I've got something coming out. Can you get behind it and try and get me some shares? And I'll get the whole community together and say, listen, at this time on this day, we're going to launch it. It's a whole experience. It's almost like buying a pass to, like, the way I've tried to make it, or even I have made it, and it's only going to get bigger and better from here. But it's to give them a pass to be around that energy of sharing, of love, of support, of growth, because the only people who will ever make it into that group are people that I see as go-getters, people who invest, people who are really doing something. Or the lazy people, no matter how many people support on the outside, but they do that shallow support, like likes and just like shallow comments or whatever, that they'll always stay outside until they either invest or they're really taking action out there. And I think that person is going to be a benefit to that group and is really going to help the growth of not just the brand, of everyone in it, because it's a family basically. And that's the experience I create, as well as the experience of the videos I put out, where and the blog posts even, where people feel like they can really do this, because I break it down so easy, so simplistic. And that's why the producer that might be making videos and, you know, kind of doing a similar thing to me, maybe theirs won't take off or have as much clout and brand power behind it as mine, maybe, because they are just saying what anyone can say. Whereas I really like to break the most complex stuff down, and so simplistically, to a point where people go, oh my God, I didn't realize it was that easy. And that's my message. This shit is easy. Same thing I'm telling you here about creating an experience is easy. You just got to think about it and, you know, educate yourself to what an experience is, read some books, increase your value, and then figure out how you can take your newfound value or your developed value and give more to the people who would be listeners, who would be fans, and just create this experience to change lives. if you're not changing lives, it's hard to do with the song yet. Like, there are songs that I listen to and say, yeah, that song's changed my life a little or whatever, but until I'm fully invested, and like, I really connect with artists when I go and watch their interviews. For example, Vince Staples, I thought, yeah, his music's cool, but then I watched his interviews and I realised how down to earth he was, how against the industry he was, even though he's in it, but he's completely not being corrupted by it at all. He's just a everyday person with a deep knowledge that's been through some stuff, and he's got a dope sense of humour as well. And that's when I really, like, now I love his songs, even though I didn't before, because he gave me an experience. But I was watching and I thought, yo, he's really the truth, you know what I mean? And that's why Vince Staples, now I really fuck with him. 50 Cent, I'm not going to be too excited about the next album he brings out, but I'll catch every single interview he ever does, because the experience I get with him is when I watch him, I see he really knows his stuff. Let me pay attention and learn and grow, and that's an experience that I have, an educational experience when I watch a 50 Cent interview. And the list goes on of artists or producers or anybody in any field for that matter to inspire me because of the experience that they give me. It's too shallow just to make music. Just to make music is too shallow, man. You're not showing people enough. Everyone makes music. Hip-hop has been alive for 40-some years, something like that. Like, bars and flow aren't going to change the world. Bars and flow aren't going to be what changes the world. It's going to be the person behind those bars and flows and what they're doing and what actions they're putting into make everything just that real. You know what I'm saying? But let's take it back to your music and how you can create an experience within your music and your movement that surrounds the music that is going to keep fans around and draw fans in just from the stories that the fans you already have are telling about their experience and how much it makes them feel like they want to engage with what you do. Now, I'm going to give you a few ideas. You know, there's things like, why not give an opportunity for your fans to get on a Skype call or, you know, do a live webinar for them or something? These are things that people like me, people in the marketing industry do. But here's the thing about marketing. Just because you're an artist doesn't mean that you're not in marketing. It's just the only thing that's different is your product and your audience. Like, that's the only thing that's different. You can use everything that we use to get our point across, to connect with our audiences for yours. Not to go on a tangent, but like I say, get the hell out of the artist box. Stop being an artist. Just be someone who creates art but is a general marketing pro. If you're a general marketing pro, you're going to be as big of an artist as you want to be. The better of a marketer you are, the better of an artist, or at least the better position you'll be in, because you'll know how to position yourself. But yeah, experiences you can give is obviously the Skype, the webinar thing. There's obviously blog posts as well where you can offer content for them that's going to help them with their lives. But as well as that, you can offer content where you're just telling your story and speaking, and just maybe people are going to relate to you that way. You know, there's doing the shows, obviously going out there and doing shows for people, wherever your biggest fan base is. Say you've got maybe 20, 30 people in a particular state that you know for 100% are going to come check you out if you do a show there. Why not throw a show for them? Even if it's just that 20 or 30, or even a meet and greet. I know you might be in a different state and it might be expensive, but think about if it costs you maybe $200-$300 or something for a flight to go to that state. That's $200-$300. Like, that may or may not be a big amount of money to you. But if you think you go out there and you reach out to 20, 30 people, that's 20, 30 people that have connected with you. And, you know, that 20, 30 people are going to buy something off you for $10 in the future. Bam, there's your flight money. Boom, like that. And they're going to keep buying and keep buying. So you've got to look at everything as an investment. If it's anything that's reaching out to fans and connecting with fans and building a relationship and creating an experience for fans is worth the investment, whether that's the training you get, whether that's the products you buy that make you better equipped to build an experience for these customers. At the end of the day, there's so many artists out there, there's so many people doing exactly what you do. So you have to do something different. You have to create an experience. You have to give them something memorable, something that they're going to carry with them and remember you for specifically because you did that. So it doesn't matter what Joe Blogs or Mike Smith are posting on the timeline about check me out, and all that bullshit. You're the one that reached out to them. You're the one that went above and beyond. You're the one that created this experience for them that lets them know not only that you care, but that you're a human just like them. They can reach out, they can touch you, they can shake your hand, they can hug you, they can tell you how much they appreciate what you do. You know, it's creating that experience. At the end of the day, like I say with a restaurant, you go in there and they make you feel special. So make your fans feel special. Create an environment, a system, a experience for your fans and your customers. Now, they're just a few ideas for you to run with. They're not like strict ideas that you have to do those. You know me, I'm just trying to influence your thought. I'm not trying to make you, tell you, do this, do that, you have to do that, be successful. I'm just trying to influence you in a sense of, influence you to think for yourself and think a bit deeper. Like, what's something that's similar to the things I'm suggesting? What is completely different but you think that'll work? What has those same principles of what I'm telling you? And then it's just implementing them. As long as you're creating a memorable, positive experience for your fans and giving them a chance to know you and connect with you, everything is just going to handle itself. Your likes, your shares, the engagement, they're going to handle that now. Your sales of your products and your services and your music, they're going to handle that now. Really, you want a fan base that works for you now. You go out there and you see any of those big artists, they put something out one time. They might promote their album once. And then after that, the fan system takes over. The fans buy and share. And that's a situation you want to cook up. Instead of having to promote yourself, you build up your fan base to a point where they're the ones promoting for you. It's like at the beginning, you've got to work hard. Don't get twisted, you've got to work hard in the beginning. But after a while, you've got to realise that you've got to see that opportunity, that space to start working smart instead of working hard. When you start working smart is when all of this shit becomes real easy. Then it's just maintenance and making sure everything's okay. And then you've got the time to be as artistic as you want to be. So take it on board, build an experience for your fans and your customers. Make sure to visit GetRichRapping.com. If you're in a position to make an investment, you've got some money lying around or some... not even money lying around. I mean, even if it puts you in a bit of a spot, you know, investment is investment. You know, visit the GRRlibrary.com, get yourself these courses. These courses are going to amplify everything you're doing on social media, build your brand, teach you how to move on Facebook, to get engagement, to get likes, to build a fan base, all of these things. But enough about that. Don't get mad, get motivated. Don't make hits, make history. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.
MC Stimulator from Shush Location, and I'm listening to GetRichRapping podcast.
This is Justice from Nobody Hip Hop, and you're listening to Esskimo and the GRR podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Scumbag Key, and you're listening to Esskimo and the GetRichRapping podcast.